Yeah, absolutely. Tell your favorite content creators to get on it. But it looks like the players are about ready. So I'm going to throw it to you guys and fade out of here. We're getting G2 versus Rogue underway. See you later.
All right, so I guess that's my cue to take it.
Yeah,
I got it. I was kind of not paying attention. I was typing to the players. So
I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to both talk again.
it
It happened earlier. I was like, I'm just gonna stay quiet. Doesn't matter how awkward and long this silence is. I'm not saying a word until James does.
I think that's the right approach, honestly. You know, I was actually hoping Jorby would have asked another open-ended question to us, and we could have just let it hang.
Yeah, tell him. You know, Jarby, we're not even going to talk about that. We're just going to get straight into the game because we got some important matches here, best of 5, and I think Rogue are the team who need to prove something, despite the G2's recent struggles. I think they'll always have the ability to bounce back and play some great Rocket League.
I think so too, and First Killer's been such an exciting player to watch, and Johnny, you're familiar with how good of an individual talent First Killer is, and you'd probably know his strengths better than many.
Yeah, playing a 1v1 has, given him the foundation to be, I think, the best mechanical player in North America, maybe even the world. I think First Killer, you could make a good argument that he has the best mechanics in the world. There's few other players in that conversation, of course. But he's up there, I think, and it's all from that 1v1 background. He's being forced to play so consistently and so fast.
We saw some of that speed almost get him a goal. And he's teaming up with a veteran Kronovi, one of the first ever world champions, him, Lachinio, and Overzero sharing that title. And now he's with some fresh faces trying to get back there again. Rogue with a lot of pressure early on. We're seeing the demo as well. G2 fending off the attack for now, but Rogue has been doing such a good job on possession.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, you feel, before G2 get that offense rolling, start passing the ball in the final third and boxing Rogue in. But well, if Rogue can keep this game wide open and try to keep it end to end, then I think they have a good matchup against G2. It's only when G2 start to really pile on the pressure that teams fall apart.
See, good pass from Chicago. JNaps was first to it. G2 getting a look at the net. JNaps passing off the wall again. Seems to be working. Rizzo's been ready in the midfield. Getting a demo as well. Rizzo, a player that isn't afraid to go for those bumps and demos.
And you need that these days. Rotations are so tight. It's so difficult to get the ball through a good defensive lineup. So you need that demo or that 50-50 or something to just cause some confusion, some chaos. In the final third, Turo's going to come back with one of his own. That's an opportunity for Chicago. Pretty weak shot though, and First Killer's easily able to send it clear.
Still scoreless, approaching that halfway point in the game. Chicago off the wall. Rizzo jumping up for it as well. Center ball to First Killer. I like that movement. Turo scoping out First Killer, but now on the other end, counterattack. Rizzo's shot right at Turo.
Yeah, the shooting here for
counterattacks.
Shooting for G2 could be improved, I feel. Oh, that was another chance gone astray. It bounces across and Rizzo is just out of reach of it. But the passing is there for G2. They're just waiting for that final touch to come through. We're seeing attempted passes by Rogue, but much further out, much further away from the goal, not as difficult to counteract. Oh, that's a nice pass across. So Kronovi off the crossbar. Both teams have had their fair share of chances this game, and both teams have been lacking accuracy.
Certainly seems like early on in a fight, when you see those blows, testing the opponent's defense, seeing where they've got a weakness, that's certainly what it seems like is going on the field right now. So we see a pop-up, First Killer racing to it. Turo, pinch pass, didn't get much heat on it, easily hit out. Chicago being challenged by Crow. First Killer, a weak shot, that'll give up possession. JNaps getting beat by Kronovi. Rizzo, his pass cut out by Turo. Turo landing, side flipping, and gets the 50.
Yeah, it was beautiful mechanics there by Turo to stay with that one. A very difficult landing to hold his momentum with. But he's done well and looking good so far in terms of consistency. We haven't seen any big mistakes from Rogue to allow G2 to just run away with this one. Rogue really do need a good start in this one, I feel, with G2's reputation for dominating a series if you give them an edge.
They're a team that, better than most, have that synergy check mark in their favor. We've seen it, something they built up together in the gaming house. It certainly will be something they can keep. Just the friendship and the trust makes them better on the field. But right now, these teams have been neck and neck. Both teams having some counterattack opportunities. Good play from Chicago in their corner. The center ball, JNAPS. The positioning was a little out of whack, but that ball made it through. That was a very dangerous ball from Chicago.
Yeah, G2 are, setting up chances to play that dangerous pass right in front of the goal. But that's twice now this game when the ball has came across the rogue center of the box. The G2 players just a bit too late to react to it. That's not something we're used to seeing from them.
Especially from JNAPS. JNAPS had a phenomenal season. Shooting opportunity! And he puts it in, threading the needle on that one. Wow.
Oh, wow. Everybody, all eyes on Chicago. They're thinking he's going to hit the impossible angle shot. But they did not pay attention to JNAPS, who comes in for the bottom left corner finish. Good placement by him. And that is the threat. That was so much respect being shown to Chicago in that position. The fact that they all thought he was going to hit that shot. And JNAPS with the 2 seconds remaining gets the winning goal.
And that's all it took. It seemed like we were gearing up for overtime.
Yeah.
And just like that, that is the epitome of what Rocket League can be. You can never stop playing defense. That 5 minutes, it requires full focus. And JNAPS, there were 2 defenders in net there. There was one player in the middle, another player on the wall. The player in the middle probably hoping that the player on the wall would have covered that line just a little too high up on the wall. And JNAPS, if there's a guy on G2 that can find the space to score, it's JNAPS.
Yeah, JNAPS hitting the ball well today. Some of his clears have been spot on. Just a maximum power, keeping the pressure on Rogue, not giving them any chances to advance their defensive line forward because they know at any minute they could be smacked with a hard clear. And it's always one of the things that makes G2 so dangerous to play against. Very rarely do they clear the ball badly and allow a team an easy collection or an easy pressure play. You just know at any moment they might be slinging it the entire length of the field, and we saw plenty of that from JNAPS in Game 1.
We really did. That even that one play where it was a counterattack right into a G2 counterattack, Rizzo didn't have the best shot. I mean, the shooting seemed a little lackluster really on both ends that game. Ball movement was good, defense was good, but the shots just weren't there for both sides. JNAPS hitting the only goal of the game with that 2 seconds left on the clock. We'll see if we have more offense in this one.
You feel like we will now that G2 have got that first game. They're more confident to just attack and see what happens. See if they can get another early goal maybe. Just put the pressure on Rogue some more. And even if they do end up overextending and conceding, they've got that one game cushion to have as the backup plan.
And G2, a team that really has had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations that have helped them be a team that can play from behind, which, that means you never even want to give them the lead, give them that confidence to just keep rolling. The G2 is doing a fantastic job keeping possession. Pro trying to get it out. Chicago off the wall, and we've been seeing G2 use those wall passes quite a bit. Great drop down and a missed shot from Turo. He was low on boost, but you still think he might have been able to hit it.
Yeah, it was a really good pass. Really good potential assist there from Rogue. It's the deception. It needs to be there. If you're going to play G2, you need to disguise your passes. Just try and keep the defense guessing. Look at that from G2 though. Oh, what a save by First Killer. As JNAPS sent another rocket to the top corner. But it's looking dangerous for Rogue overall. They are letting chances through. That's good defense by Rizzo. In the face of an air dribble bump, he just makes contact to the ball.
That was what I was worried about, that air dribble bump play. Rizzo getting up high quick, touching that ball. Now JNAPS on the other end gets a bump on Turo on the backboard. Now First Killer with a bit of space. Rizzo again, that backstop against First Killer's assault. It's another stop. Turo. Shut down by Chicago in the corner. Rizzo low on boost, needs help. Chicago is there. Chicago been so quick to cut off those lanes. prevent the shots from coming in.
You know, a lot of people might wonder how someone like Rizzo can defend effectively against a player like First Killer when the 1v1 ability is... There's a massive disparity there between them. And I would put it down mostly to 2v2. It's why pro players play 2v2. They want to get practice and get defending dribbling plays and defending 1v1 positions, which do happen all the time in 2s.
And that's a good point. You have way more space, and that's one reason why people just like playing and or watching 2s, is because you have more space to make fun plays and watch fun plays.
Ooh.
A miss from the backboard. I thought that was going to be it for G2 after Chicago missed it. They're still not out of harm's way, but finally a clear coming out from Rizzo.
Rogue have got to be careful. There's moments here where someone is getting beaten to the ball and there's no backup. We saw there was backup for G2 when somebody missed their touch. JNaps was there to sweep up the danger. Rogue need to do the same thing. They need to watch out for potential misses so that they can follow up on each other's missed touches, missed hits on the ball. That's a really confident follow-up by Chicago. It's off the bar and actually wide of the net as it goes across. Rogue are all pinned back in goal here. Great defense by First Killer. Chicago quickly back to retake control of the ball. G2 look pretty comfortable.
Infield pass was high above Chicago. First Killer trying to clear it out. Rizzo, the shot blocked by Kronovi. Now JNaps center attempt. See Chicago top shelf, and G2 open up the score sheet in game 2.
G2's passing is just so impressive. That is a really good pass by JNaps. It looked like the angle might not even be possible, but he managed to find it. And they lead by 1 again. It's not 2 seconds remaining as it was in the last game, but still not a lot of time left for Rogue, who have remained scoreless this entire series.
Chicago also had to jump early on that play to avoid the bump coming in from Crow. G2, that's what you look for them to do, those passing plays, that teamwork. JNaps breaking up yet another play. Net might be open. Chicago hits it not hard enough as Kronovi gets back in time.
Oh, the angle shot by Rizzo. Just testing the Rogue defense again. Now, G2 don't need to push for another goal, but we know they always will. They don't want to sit back in a 1-goal lead. They're going to keep on attacking. Gives them the initiative and the control in the majority of their games that they're already winning. They look like they're right back to their best, honestly. Everything's going well for them. We've got the Rizzo running riot in the final third. No mistakes really in defense. No mistakes as a team, and the passing is always a threat.
It certainly is, and one lesson I think they learned. Oh, great save from Rizzo. Low boost, going backwards, jumps up, stops the shot. Fantastic. G2 is in a bit of a bind right now. 15 seconds left. They got to preserve this 1-goal lead. Rogue has threatened, but still hasn't found that one shot to break past the defense. Crow will hit this downfield. Up to Turo. Turo keeps it alive. Pass over to Crow.
Oh!
Crow at 0 seconds ties it up for Rogue.
What an assist by Turo. That's a double touch off the ceiling. He keeps it alive. And honestly, could not have hit that pass any more accurately.
And I was going to bring up the World Championship match against Vitality where Scrub Killa scored that 0-second goal. They ended up losing that game, G2, and they also ended up losing that series in the grand final. And that has got to be tough for G2. We'll see how they respond. JNaps, the shot blocked by First Killer. Rizzo looking for that follow-up. Another shot's going to be high. Chicago racing to it and a miss. And Rogue get away without conceding a goal, but G2 still hunting.
G2 absolutely coming alive in this overtime. It looks like the late equalizers only served to anger them. Oh wait, First Killer's got some space, and he gets the shot past Chicago. Nobody pressuring him as he fired this one. There's just far too much space. You cannot give First Killer that amount of time in the ball. 1v1.
Chicago was on empty, picked up one pad, made it back to boost. And you love that patience from First Killer, jumping up, coming across the ball. He didn't try to shoot it hard or shoot it right away. He just took his time and hit the mark, threaded it. That's the mark of a great striker, is one that's calm under pressure and just knows where they got to put it to score. First Killer did exactly that, and Rogue steal this game. A 0-second goal from Kronovi off a double tap pass from Turo. And now that play from First Killer. G2, they must be reeling after that one. That is a tough way to lose.
That's just a beautiful goal there by Turo and Kronovi. That pass was picture perfect. He needed to not only play that one precisely into a position Kronovi could shoot from, but he had to do it quickly as well. There was someone up to try and contest that pass as the double touch came in off the ceiling. So Turo really didn't have any time to pick his spot there. He just had to go for it, and he got it done. Really a quiet game for him outside of these assists, but what a big play that is. I
mean, it took him a full 2 games to score that first goal, and they scored at 0 seconds. And then that, wow, what an entertaining game that was. And Turo, the pass, but also thinking back on that, you remember the save from First Killer. There was a shot going top shelf.
Yeah.
And First Killer was able to make that save and keep that game within reach for Rogue. So
yeah,
First Killer making some huge plays.
Oh yeah, massive defense coming out from First Killer. Something that we've come to expect from him. And they are going to be right back where they were for most of the series. Earlier goal here from G2.
And I love this passing. JNaps on the other end of this pass from Chicago. You could see the jump, the challenge. Didn't even come in after that first victory by Chicago in the air. G2 looking for the passing. Got to watch out for that. They hit their mark. Now back pass to Chicago. Chicago to JNaps. JNaps low on boost. Crow hitting it upfield. Rizzo bounces it down. Kronovi a little too far up. Now pass over to Chicago. The Chicago shot denied by First Killer. But G2, if you give them that space, they are eager to look for that opportunity to shoot, opportunity to pass, and will punish you for giving them any kind of real estate.
You wonder why these infield passes continue to be so successful. Every time the G2 are in that position, it's an infield pass followed up by a shot. Now they're disguising it effectively. They're trying to make it look like they're shooting, but at this point, Rogue should know the shots are not coming in from the corner. It's always a pass. We need somebody to get out to that ball, try and challenge it, because if we're going to let G2 pass the ball across uncontested, then not only are you making it very difficult on yourselves to defend, but you're also missing out on chances to counterattack.
You really are. And one of the worst things you can do is put G2 in a position where they know they have the space to pass, where they don't even have to hide it. They can just go for it. And then it's just up to their execution. And those are with how well G2's been shooting, they've been aiming it right underneath the post, or underneath the crossbar, and been hitting that several times. Now, great showing of defense from Chicago. Rogue, however, you can't ever count them out. We saw the passing play from Turo, the shot from Kronovi, First Killer with his individual skill. That one goal lead's never safe, and Crow 50-50s it past, just bullying the defense, and gets that tying goal for Rogue.
Yeah, a bit chaotic in this follow-up here. Chicago on the outside of the ball, maybe a bit greedy in that challenge. As he got a touch on it, but Kronovi just went straight through him as if he wasn't even there.
It's like a hot knife through butter. Kronovi making it look easy. Quickly getting another one. Turo shoots it past Chicago, who couldn't streak back in time.
Yeah, this is some really questionable play again from Chicago. He's defending the corner wall, and that leaves the net wide open. I'm not sure what he's defending the corner wall for. Maybe that's the wall that he just really doesn't like to see take any punishment. He hates when the ball bounces off that hard. But he kept it safe, but they concede as a result. Rogue with a couple of quick goals, both of them straight past a pretty careless Chicago in defense.
You wonder if he even saw Turo there. Maybe he thought he had space and recognized Turo was there too late. But clearly something happened. Chicago not in position to get the stop. And Rogue have done this now 2 games straight. They get behind, but then quickly getting 2 goals. Rizzo, air dribble, getting a dunk. And then he blocks it. Chicago hit it right into Rizzo.
Yeah, not much you can do about that one. As Rizzo, he just fell on top of the play. Oh, and that's just wide open. Chicago's missed the top corner, though. Obviously, he didn't realize that was just going to be an undefended net. Both teams have left some pretty open goals to shoot at in this game.
They're giving them gaps. I mean, we've been seeing it with Rogue and how much space they're giving G2 at times. J-Naps getting denied by First Killer again. First Killer has made so many stops. Now another one, Kronovi getting that 50 right by, but First Killer's defense, something else.
Yeah, it's truly unbelievable. This is going to be very frustrating for G2. As these shots have been very impressive. They've been fast, they've been accurate, they've been off the back of some quick passing play. Every time First Killer's there, you can make the save. This time, no one is there, though. And Chicago will just put it in. Oh, it looks like everybody was just off the goal line at the same time. Kronovi side flipped by mistake. Real blunder there by Crow. First Killer couldn't cover it.
Another high shot. First Killer has been that last line of defense for a few attempts. He's able to save most of them. That one getting by. But one thing I've been noticing about G2 is they're eager to use those sidewall passes, even when they're really close to one another. It's been working for them. First to it. That time, they caught Rogue out. Hit upfield from Rizzo. Kronovi goes for the pop. J-Naps down to Chicago, but Chicago wasn't in position. Retreats back. First Killer. Pinch pass to the middle. Rizzo getting challenged by Crow. J-Naps is up. Pops it by. Going for a second effort. Out of boost. Kronovi will get the save. Chicago trying to take it past First Killer, but that First Killer pre-jump took it out of his path. Turo, double tap to Chicago. Chicago testing first, who puts it into the corner. You can see Rogue using up a lot of boost, trying to get to that challenge. A lot of space being left on the field.
This is a dangerous position for G2 as well, though. Being stretched quite thin. And there's the counter-attack. What shot by Kronovi. At no point during these last few plays did Rogue look truly down and out of it. And they were ready for that counter-attack. First Killer just slammed it into the middle. Kronovi added some power to it.
Kronovi's shot placement, amazing. Great hit, power, 70 miles an hour. And we're seeing the shooting was a little bit of what we were complaining about early on, and it has really gotten a lot better. We've seen some phenomenal shots now from both Rogue and G2, hitting those marks.
Wow, another complete missile from Chicago. That's just a free goal. And it's just honestly a game that Chicago would rather forget in a hurry, because I could put down 3 of the goals in this game to Chicago just being completely out of position and letting a goal go through him. But this one wasn't even a goal that Rogue needed. They had the lead off that brilliant counter-attack. So G2 maybe need to be a bit more careful, not just in defense, but also with their offense, not to let Rogue get that booming clear. Always something you have to watch out for, especially against First Killer.
First Killer, such a fast player, able to hit it so hard. The field seems so much smaller now with how good these players are at booming the ball. And Rogue getting a win in Game 3, up now in the series. That is not what we were expecting, especially after the incredible ending that we saw in the last game. Rogue now roaring back to get the win here as well. Yeah,
we saw Rogue just completely scoreless for so long, and it looked like G2 just had their number. But that 0-second goal has really lifted their spirits, and you can already tell that they're playing with hyped comms. They're just going for every opportunity in that final third. Whenever there's a loose ball, they're getting someone on the end of it. And that's the sort of aggression you need against a G2 team who, if given the space to play their style, are almost unstoppable.
Certainly, and G2, I agree with you. That loss, that's gonna just play into the momentum for younger players like First Killer as well, and Turo, players with not as much experience. When things go well, sometimes you just get that wave of emotion that can help you get that little bit of extra focus. And First Killer, I have been really enjoying his defensive performance. We've seen him now be very dynamic. Whatever Rogue needs him to do, he's doing it. And Kronovi also hitting some really important shots. So we're seeing the veteran lead this team right now.
That was a huge game for Crow, really stepping it up. And it's important to notice as well, he wasn't without flaws. He had the one goal where for G2 where he just side flipped on the spot and accidentally missed it. But he just bounced back and didn't let that affect him. Late on in the game, he's still making big plays, and he's still making it very difficult for G2 in the matchup. Same cannot be said of Chicago, who had a really bad game start to finish in that one.
And that, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that as well, because Chicago was the guy that replaced Kronovi on the roster.
Yeah.
And Kronovi was a part of G2 for such a long time. They won E-League together, which was an incredible thing to see. And now it's something that some people might forget, is that Rizzo, JNAPS, they were teammates with Kronovi for a very long time. One of the longest standing rosters that there were. And
a very successful team in North America as well. One of the only teams who could, well, it was the big three back then, of course, with G2, Cloud9, and NRG at the time. And G2 were, I think, a team who had more success against NRG regionally than anyone else, when NRG looked like they might be just the team to beat. Obviously, versus European teams, Cloud9 were more successful, but G2 with Kronovi, still a legendary roster. And who knows, maybe if Kronovi can keep playing as well as he is, there's a chance that we'll see it again if Chicago gets benched. Maybe we're going to start the movement here on Twitter, bring back Crow.
We'll see about that. But one thing is for certain, is that Kronovi does not quit. He is a winner. He loves to leave all of it on the field, and it's showing in this game. Some big goals from him, bouncing back from mistakes, and now Rogue in the G2 half looking to get another one. Could send G2 down into the lower bracket. For Turo, setting up Crow, low boost. Double commit from G2. Crow gets a bump as well. He's got no boost, gets another bump on JNAPS.
Man. Just proving to be a tough team to get past. And JNAPS is still having a great day at the office. I'm impressed with what I've seen from him, both mechanically and positionally. He's holding G2 together, but they do need more, as well, it looks like we're going to be going to a radio cast for the time being, our spectators DC'd, but don't worry, guys, you've not missed any goals just yet. Oh, that's so smart, James, with the 200 IQ move.
All right,
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's impressive.
It's terrible quality, but at least you guys will have some idea of what's going on.
We're back, we're back.
Close shot, all right.
That's incredible. I've never seen that before.
You know, sometimes you just got to roll with it. Rizzo, top shelf shot denied by Crow. JNAP center ball, Chicago!
Oh!
They do it again.
Chicago's back. That's what he needed more than anyone else. And also, the first time that we've seen a misplay from First Killer, he tried to double jump into that ball, but because two of his wheels were off the wall, it turned his jump into a dodge, and he just kind of flipped on the spot and missed it. That's a nice little passing play. G2 right back to their bread and butter play there. And Chicago scoring is really a big deal after his disappointing Game 3.
Chicago showing what he's made of, and that was a fun play to watch. G2's been doing that. Those infield passes just out of the reach of the defenders. But Rogue, they've managed to wiggle their way back into the series in the last, or into the games in the last two games. We'll see if they can do it again here. Under 2 minutes left.
Oh, wow.
First Killer off the post, off the other post, and out. Wow.
He's just so fast. First Killer just getting a clean beat to the ball against G2. G2 obviously known as one of the fastest teams and one of the most difficult teams to play against in the midfield. First Killer just on another level. I think he may be, like I said, the fastest in the region, and he definitely hits the ball the hardest in the region, although JNAPS has been hitting some bangers today also. There's another shot in field from Chicago. This one didn't even need an assist. It's just bouncing around, and he's going to send it on target.
And JNAPS gets that demo. Chicago, knowing he's got a little bit of space, didn't even have much boost, but blasts it in. This is the comeback game for Chicago. A crossbody shot. You love to see players respond to adversity.
Chicago, of course, is one of the deadliest players when he is playing well. His offense and his, shooting ability combined with JNAP's passing has been a real combination to be feared worldwide in recent times. Well, that's a triple commit from G2, though. Kronovi with the free pass, and he looks for First Killer. I love the pass there by Crow, but it was a difficult angle for First Killer to work with.
That seemed like a chance that Rogue was going to have to get if they wanted to get back into this game. See if they can score. Approaching that 30-second mark. JNAPS stops the shot in, and now chaos in front of net. What? It was like pinball.
Oh no, this is the worst possible goal for G2 to concede at the moment. Chicago and Rizzo just getting in each other's way. Chicago just pops it past Rizzo. First killer barrels through it. Man, there's a chance for Rogue after all. It looked like they weren't going to get many opportunities, but they found one goal.
Yeah, that was an interesting goal. You don't see many like that. Rogue, they were able to do it with 0 seconds left in game 2. A lot of these games coming down to the final seconds. JNAPS won the first game for G2, if you think back, scoring with 2 seconds left on the clock. JNAPS trying to burn time. Chicago gets a piece of it. First killer with the challenge, and that'll do it. G2, hold on. And we're going to game 5.
That's more like it from G2, more like it from Chicago in particular. Apart from that, little assist that he had for first killer at the end of the game, he was able to make a more of a positive impact in this game number 4. But I'm excited. We get to see really who is the better team on the day now. And in a series that stops before 5 games or is over before 5 games, you can always just put it down to one of the teams not playing very well, especially if it was Rogue over G2. Everybody would just be talking about how disappointing G2 are. But now we're into game 5, and this is where you get to find out who's playing at their best, because nobody, you don't have any excuse now. It's just a best of one. Who's better?
And that's one of the most fun instances in which to watch Rocket League, where it's all coming down. And that's why, even thinking back to the last LAN event that we had at the World Championship, going to Game 7 overtime, the amount of pressure that you get to experience in Rocket League, it's so fun watching players use all of that pressure to focus and just make the plays. So we'll see G2 Rogue going up here. This is in the upper bracket. So G2... Rogue, you love seeing these matchups if you're an old fan in North America, because Kronovi going up against his old team is always a fun one to watch.
Really it is G2 who have to be the favorites here. They've been here more often than Rogue in the very top tier matchups. Obviously Rogue go to game 5 a lot with teams that G2 are sweeping, but G2, they know how to win the big games against big teams. Oh, you're joking. First killer somehow keeps that one out. It looked like he might have been mispositioning, but he just scrambled really well for the save.
I thought that was going in. First killer. And now Rizzo not able to connect on that. Turo with a bit of space, but I need to see that one again. How did that manage to stay out of the net?
First killer is just such an annoying player to play against. Clearly, every time that G2 are shooting, what they must think is the first goal in a game, or just a guaranteed goal for them. First killer just gets it not only out of the net, but away from danger oftentimes.
JNAPS with some space, hitting it off the ceiling back to himself, going for the dunk. It goes straight down. Chicago's not going to be able to hit it. No retreat, 0 boost as well. Turo popping it back up. JNAPS off the wall. Turo no boost. He's going to be floating. Chicago rushed it a little bit, but Rizzo comes in with the challenge. Turo, infield pass. First killer had to stop and jump. Possession given up. JNAPS to Chicago. Crow. Rizzo looked like he wanted to take Kronovi out of the play.
And G2 playing very close together. It's very difficult to read them when they're doing this, but they need to be careful, because all it takes is one big counterattack. What a play by Crow. That is a disgusting angle in the double touch.
He even dodges a bump midair. JNAPS had a chance to hit it, but Kronovi, I love watching him work against his old team. It's personal, and he's making the plays.
And that, you talked about him being one of the first world champions for Rocket League, and one of the OGs who's still around, but he's not just hanging on there. He is making big plays this series against a team that many have considered the best in North America for most of this year, maybe even best in the world for large parts of it. There's another redirect by Crow. It's saved this time by JNAPS. What a way to just take over this game. And it's another opportunity. First killer puts it in. 2-0 to Rogue in game 5.
Turo, wonderful first touch. Taking his time on the wall. First killer scoping it out. The communication was there. And Turo, credit to him. for making these passes happen. He has been the assist man for Rogue. First killer kind of fitting in everywhere. And Kronovi, the clutch factor.
Oh, yeah.
The clutch factor, and it's all coming together for Rogue. We'll see if G2 can respond. Rogue setting the bar high in the first half.
Well, you know, that what we saw there, especially with Kronovi's first goal, is one of the downsides of G2's play style. They're so chaotic at times, and they really thrive in the chaos. They throw multiple players into one zone in the field, and it's difficult for the other team to predict who's going to make a play on the ball, who's next up to do something, who you want to be blocking and countering. But if Rogue do make those reads effectively, if they do get touches to clear the ball, then all it takes is one touch and the entire G2 lineup is out of the game.
We've seen that play out. First killer. Oh, he's making them look silly with this one. Rogue are putting the pedal to the metal.
Just totally outplays the entire lineup, gets away from Rizzo, and then with one off-the-wall play, goes past Chicago and JNaps. Who would have thought that the most one-sided victory, or at least one-sided lead, would be for Rogue in a Game 5 against G2? And they're doing it in style. This has been a game where G2, yes, they've maybe overextended at times and been punished, but Rogue are just capitalizing so well.
Everything that I've seen, when I've watched them play live, I have been impressed with Rogue more times than not. This team, a team that was struggling to even stay in the RLCS, now they are looking like some of the top brass. Crow. Downfield. We're going to have to see G2 get something on the board fast. Otherwise, it's going to be it. If Rogue can get one more in, that'll do it as well.
First killer is absolutely on point right now. What a save by Crow to keep G2 out. Rogue are they're too good at the moment. I just don't see it happening. Not even G2 have a chance with this time left on the clock. Rogue, every single player, is playing so confidently and playing so well in the clutch moments.
So much dynamic play from them, really. First killer, defense, offense, anything. Churro passing, his defense, breaking out. Every aspect of Rogue's game was doing great, and now Chicago is not ready to give up yet. 48 seconds left on the clock. Chicago putting this one in off another pass from JNaps. The passing still working, and it's not done just yet.
That old combination again, JNaps to Chicago. Just a brilliant shot there. Kronovi trips on the goalpost. He wouldn't have had a chance anyway with that accuracy that Chicago brought out, but still, not much time left for G2. Let's see what they can do.
Hard pass, well read by first killer Kronovi. Chicago off the sidewall. Churro first to it. Pro, hard off the backboard. Chicago jumps, gets the touch. JNaps will take over. Demo from Rizzo on the back line. Rizzo going to turn for the shot. The shot's going to hit. Rizzo making things interesting for G2.
Oh, what a play by Rizzo. The demo, but also to turn around and just bang that shot in the near post top corner over first killer. What a statement for G2.
They are here to play. 23 seconds left. Can G2 make it happen? Churro. Second effort. Did he get the flip reset? No. He leaves it over to JNaps, who drops down to Chicago. Chicago, the dribble, the demo. The ball goes wide. Infield pass, and JNaps didn't hit the shot. Another chance. Man. Chicago getting blocked, and that'll be it. Rogue take the win in Game 5. And it came down to the wire.
That was wide open. JNaps just missed. I'm fairly sure that JNaps just missed an open goal. Rizzo demoed first killer. He bumped her into her out the net. That was wide open for JNaps. And the center ball from Chicago, I feel like it was pretty good. I'm going to go back and watch really quickly to see exactly what happened there. But I think that was about as good as you can ask for. Yeah, JNaps just got ahead of himself. It is as simple as that. He rushed it.
Wow.
He had an open net, and he totally rushed it. Oh, man, that is... He pre-jumped! JNaps, you madman, why? Oh, I do not believe this.
Wow.
What is he doing?
Oh, wow.
J-Naps.
That play is gonna be scrutinized. That's for sure. People will be taking another look at that one.
Oh,
But
my
what
goodness.
an ending that was, man! Anytime
What?
Rogue and G2 match up, you know it's gonna be fun. You know it's gonna be
Oh,
fun, and
man.
that was fun.
I just
That
don't
was
believe
fun to
this.
watch.
I knew something must have happened
Wow.
because with the bumps there from Rizzo and the pass from Chicago going right into the middle, I thought, okay, how did J-Naps miss? Because this could not have been any easier for him. But he pre-jumped. He anticipated Chicago just kind of dinking the ball straight across the box, and then Chicago actually popped it off the back wall. So it's not what J-Naps was expecting. But he didn't need to pre-jump this. He could have easily beaten Cyril to the ball by just jumping after seeing what kind of pass there is in the play. But I'm sure that one will be up. It'll be hitting Twitter later
certainly.
today. It'll probably be on Reddit. We'll see the JNAPS POV. But I'm sure he'll bounce back from that. That's a really rough way for this series to finish. What a scripted ending it would have been though if JNAPS had put that in. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to see that overtime.
It feels like we're robbed a little bit. I'm with you. I wanted to see that overtime, certainly. JNAP's not able to hit that shot, but what a comeback. Rizzo making that big demo play, getting the goal. G2 fighting to the very end. So I look forward to seeing them kind of fight through the lower bracket. Rogue is looking really good. So we'll see them later on in the tournament. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we've got Team Envy going up against E United, another chance to see Turbo on his new squad to see how he can help them. So we'll check that out after the break.